You ever notice how some people somehow become more attractive as they get older? Not just physically. There's something else, something hard to explain. You look at them and think, how are they becoming more magnetic with age? And it's crazy because when they were younger, maybe they weren't even considered the beautiful ones. But now, they walk into a room and people feel them. Not because they're trying hard, not because they're dressed in expensive clothes, not because they're chasing attention, but because something inside them changed. And Carl Jung had a very deep explanation for this. See, most people think attraction is all about youth, smooth skin, perfect body, no wrinkles. But life teaches you something very different. Some of the most unforgettable people you'll ever meet are older. And not just older. Alive, present, deep, comfortable in their own skin. You can literally feel their energy before they even speak. And tonight, we're going to talk about why that happens, because some people age and slowly disappear, but others, they become magnetic, more beautiful, more powerful, more real. And the scary part is, most people never figure out why. So if you've ever looked at someone in their 40s, 50s, 60s and thought, why do they have that glow? Stay with me, because by the end of this video, you may realize attraction was never about age in the first place. And let me say this first, I think social media completely lied to people about beauty. Seriously, open your phone for 2 minutes. Everybody looks the same poses, same lips, same fake confidence, same filters, same look-at-me energy, and somehow, the more perfect people try to look, the less memorable they become. But then you meet somebody older, somebody natural, somebody who laughs from their stomach instead of posing every second. And suddenly, they stand out more than everybody else. Why? Because real presence is rare now. That's what Jung understood. He believed that the most attractive people are usually the ones who become more whole over time, not more perfect. Whole. There's a difference, and honestly, you can feel it instantly. You know those people who make you feel calm around them? People who don't need to prove anything. People who aren't secretly competing with everybody. That energy is attractive. Very attractive, especially today, because the world is full of exhausted people pretending to be okay. So when somebody becomes emotionally real, they become magnetic. And age can actually help with that, because life starts stripping the fake layers away. Slowly, painfully sometimes, but truthfully. And one thing I've noticed, the people who become more attractive with age are usually the people who stop trying so hard to impress everybody. That changes everything. When you're younger, you care about every opinion. Every rejection feels personal. Every little flaw feels huge. You overthink your smile, your body, your clothes, your voice. You're performing, but then life humbles you. You get heartbroken. You lose people. You fail. You cry over things nobody knows about. And after enough life experience, something strange happens. You stop performing, and that is where real attraction begins. Because confidence becomes quieter with age. It becomes calmer, more grounded, less desperate, and people feel that instantly. You know what's funny? Some people were attractive at 22, but exhausting to be around. Now they're older, and even more attractive because they finally became emotionally safe. That matters more than people admit. A peaceful person is attractive. A person who listens is attractive. A person who doesn't drain the room is attractive. A person who knows who they are, dangerously attractive. And Jung believed something powerful about this. He believed that many people spend the first half of life building a mask, and the second half trying to remove it. That mask is what he called the persona, the fake self. The image we create so people will accept us. And honestly, most people never remove it. That's why some people grow older. but never grow deeper. But the people who do the inner work, the people who face themselves honestly, they become different. You can literally see it in their eyes. There's depth there, and depth is attractive. Not everybody understands this when they're young, because younger attraction is usually loud, but mature attraction, that's different. It's subtle. It sneaks up on you. It's the woman who isn't trying to compete with younger girls anymore because she finally knows her value. It's the man who stopped chasing validation and became calm in himself. That energy changes a face. I swear it does. And have you noticed something else? Some people smile differently as they age. Not fake smiling. Real smiling. The kind that reaches the eyes. Because pain taught them softness, and softness is powerful. You know what really makes people age badly? Bitterness, stress, constant comparison, trying to stay young forever. That energy eats people alive. You can see it. Some people are physically young, but spiritually exhausted. And then you meet someone older who feels lighter than everybody around them. That's attractive, very attractive, because youth fades. But energy talks. And Jung believed the soul always reveals itself eventually. That's why somebody's inner world slowly starts appearing on their outer face. A loving person begins to look softer. A hateful person begins to look harder. A peaceful person begins to glow. And no cream on earth can fake that. Now let's talk about something people avoid. Pain. Because this is where the transformation really happens. A lot of attractive older people became attractive because life broke them open. Not because life was easy. Because it wasn't. See, pain can make people ugly inside. Or wise. And wise people become beautiful differently. They stop sweating small things. They stop chasing nonsense. They stop needing applause every 5 minutes. There's something deeply attractive about someone who survived life without becoming cruel. That's rare. And viewers know exactly what I mean. Some of you watching this right now, you've been through hell quietly. People around you don't even know half the things you survived. But somehow, instead of becoming colder, you became softer. That changes your energy. That changes your face. That changes your presence. And people feel it even if they can't explain it. Now here's where it gets really interesting. Jung believed every person has a shadow, the hidden side of themselves, the emotions they deny, the traits they hide, the pain they bury. And the people who age beautifully are often the ones who stopped running from their shadow. They accepted themselves fully, the good, the bad, the awkward, the emotional parts, the insecure parts, the dark parts. And weirdly enough, self-acceptance makes people glow. You ever meet someone who's completely themselves, not pretending to be cooler than they are, not trying to sound smarter, not desperate for approval? That authenticity is addictive, because most people are exhausted from acting. So when somebody feels real, it feels refreshing. That's why older people sometimes become incredibly attractive. They finally relax into themselves. And honestly, that's beautiful to watch. You know what else changes with age? Eye contact. Young people often look at you while thinking about themselves. But grounded people, they actually see you. That's rare now. Everybody's distracted. Everybody's scrolling. Everybody's mentally somewhere else. So when somebody is fully present with you, it hits differently. And presence is one of the sexiest things on earth. Seriously, some people become more attractive simply because they learned how to be present. No rushing, no fake energy, no trying too hard, just real. That's powerful. And let's be honest. Some people peak too early because their whole identity was built on appearance. That's dangerous. Because if beauty is the only thing holding your self-worth together, aging feels terrifying. But people who built depth, humor, wisdom, emotional intelligence. Those people become richer with time. They don't lose themselves when wrinkles appear. They evolve. And evolution is attractive. I think that's why some older couples are beautiful to watch, not because they look perfect, but because they look real together. You can tell they've lived. You can tell they've forgiven each other 1,000 times. You can tell they stopped playing games. That kind of love looks different. It feels deeper. And younger people secretly crave that kind of connection, even if they don't admit it. Now let me ask you something. Have you ever met someone who looked average at first, but became more attractive the longer you knew them? That's exactly what Jung meant. True attraction is psychological, spiritual even. The soul slowly becomes visible. And that's why shallow attraction burns fast, while deep attraction grows slowly. Some people are fireworks, others are fireplaces, and fireplaces last longer. Way longer. Now don't get me wrong, taking care of yourself matters, health matters, energy matters. But the people who glow with age usually have something deeper happening internally. They have peace, or purpose, or self-respect, or emotional balance. And honestly, nothing makes a person look older faster than constant emotional chaos. You can see stress in people's faces. You can see resentment. You can see self-hatred. But you can also see healing. And healing looks beautiful on people. There's a different glow when somebody finally stops fighting themselves. That glow is real. And I think viewers feel this deeply because so many people are tired of fake perfection. People want real now. They want depth. They want honesty. They want warmth. That's why some older creators online are exploding right now, because people trust real energy, and Jung predicted this psychologically long before social media existed. He believed humans crave authenticity more than perfection, and honestly, that might be more true now than ever, because perfection is everywhere now, but soul is rare. Now here's another thing nobody talks about. Humor makes people age beautifully. I'm serious. People who can still laugh deeply later in life become incredibly attractive, especially after suffering. There's something beautiful about someone who went through pain and still kept their sense of humor. That's strength, not fake positivity, real strength. The ability to still laugh, still dance, still love people, still stay open. That's magnetic. And you know who usually becomes less attractive with age? People who become emotionally rigid. People who stop growing. People who think they already know everything. Closed energy is heavy. Curious energy stays young. That's why some 70-year-olds feel younger than people in their 20s. Their spirit stayed alive. And people can feel that immediately, honestly. I think one of the most attractive things in the world is emotional peace, not boredom. Peace. Someone who doesn't create drama everywhere they go. Someone who isn't trying to dominate every conversation. Someone who makes you feel safe enough to breathe. That's rare. And rarity creates attraction. You know what else becomes attractive with age? Standards. Healthy standards. When someone no longer accepts disrespect just to avoid loneliness, that changes their entire energy. Desperate energy pushes people away. Self-respecting energy pulls people in, always. And here's the crazy thing. Sometimes people only become truly attractive after heartbreak, after betrayal, after loss, because suffering forces them to finally meet themselves. And that's where the transformation begins. Carl Jung once said, "No tree can grow to heaven unless its roots reach down to hell." That line is deep, because many beautiful people were shaped by pain, quiet pain, private pain, the kind nobody claps for, but instead of letting pain destroy them, they became deeper, kinder, wiser, more human, and humans are drawn to depth naturally, even if they don't fully understand why. Now I want you to think about someone in your life who gets more attractive every year. I guarantee it's not just their face. It's their energy, their spirit, their confidence, their calmness, their authenticity. That's the real glow-up nobody talks about. And honestly, aging reveals people. That's the truth. You can fake confidence for a few years. You can fake personality online. You can fake image. But eventually, the real you starts leaking through. That's why inner work matters. Your inner world eventually becomes visible. And Jung spent his whole life talking about this. The people who face themselves honestly become integrated, balanced, whole. And wholeness is beautiful. Now let's talk about something really important. Comparison. Comparison ruins people, especially today. Everybody's comparing themselves to edited lives, edited faces, edited bodies, and it creates this constant anxiety about aging. But the people who age beautifully usually stop competing. That's the secret. They stop trying to be everybody else, and they become more themselves instead. That authenticity changes everything, because confidence isn't loud anymore, it's peaceful, and peaceful people glow differently. You ever notice how attractive calm people are? Not boring, calm, grounded, centered. That energy is addictive in a chaotic world. And viewers, listen carefully to this part. You do not need to look 20 forever to be attractive. You really don't. Some of the most magnetic people in the world are older because they finally became emotionally free. Free from people-pleasing. Free from insecurity. Free from needing everyone to approve of them. That freedom looks beautiful. And honestly, you can't buy that kind of beauty. You earn it through living, through healing, through surviving, through becoming real. And maybe that's what this whole video is really about. Becoming real, not perfect. Real, because perfection is cold. But realness connects. And connection is what people truly crave. That's why somebody can walk into a room with wrinkles, grey hair, simple clothes, and still become the most attractive person there, because attraction is deeper than appearance, way deeper. And the older you get, the more obvious that becomes. Now before we end this, I want to say something to anyone who's scared of aging. Don't spend your whole life trying to stay young. Spend your life becoming deeper, kinder, more alive, more authentic, because people may admire beauty, but they remember energy, always. And the people who become unforgettable with age are usually the people who became fully themselves, not louder, not faker, not more perfect, just more real. And honestly, that might be the most attractive thing a human being can become. So if this video spoke to you, drop your age in the comments. Seriously. I want people reading the comments to see how many different ages are here. And tell me this too. What do you think makes someone truly attractive as they get older? I really want to hear your thoughts. And if you made it all the way to the end, subscribe and join this community, because we're building something deeper here. Not just content, real conversations. And trust me, the next video is going to hit even deeper.